Welcome to Impact Signals, social impact at the scale of AI. I'm Charlie.
And I'm Sarah.
It's Friday, March 6th, 2026, and this is episode 22. We're closing the week with some of the most concrete proof yet that purpose-built humanitarian AI is a different animal entirely from what big tech ships for the enterprise.
That's the headline, Charlie. The International Rescue Committee just published 2 years of hard-won lessons from building Signpost AI, and the takeaway is blunt. Responsible AI in humanitarian work isn't a slogan. It's an engineering discipline.
Let's start there. The IRC has been running Signpost since 2015, a digital platform that connects crisis-affected communities in roughly 30 countries to trusted information and IRC social workers. For the past 2 years, with support from the MasterCard Center for Inclusive Growth, Google.org, Zendesk, and Cisco, they've been quietly building an AI agent platform on top of that infrastructure.
And they're calling it Signpost AI. What's different from just bolting on a chatbot? The IRC's approach is what they call a job description model. Every AI agent deployed gets a defined role, responsibilities, safety protocols, guardrails, and workflows before a single line of code goes into production.
Early pilots were telling. The systems met quality standards about 75% of the time and boosted staff productivity by nearly 70%. But, and this is the key learning, they still required human review before any response was sent to a community member in crisis.
That's not a failure. That's the system working as designed. The IRC built agents that know their own limits. The platform is now live across protection, refugee resettlement, education, and anti-human trafficking workflows.
For practitioners, if you're deploying any AI in crisis settings, the Signpost AI framework is your template. The report is public at rescue.org. Read it before your next AI pilot.
Moving to research. This week's most significant academic news, a team from KAIST, the Korea Advanced Institute of Science and Technology, won the Best Paper Award in the AI for Social Impact track at AAAI 2026.
What did they build?
A satellite-based AI that can map informal settlements, slums, across different cities and continents with high precision. The technical challenge here is real. What an informal settlement looks like in Kampala, Uganda, looks nothing like one in Maputo, Mozambique, or Sao Paulo. Different housing materials, layouts, density patterns.
Their solution is called a mixture of experts architecture. Multiple specialized internal models, each optimized for a different visual context. And here's the clever part. A feature called test time adaptation, where the AI compares outputs from those internal models and only trusts predictions where they agree. It corrects itself in cities it's never seen before.
The practical implication? Any city government, UN agency, or development organization can now maintain near real-time poverty maps using freely available satellite imagery. No expensive ground surveys, no 6-month data collection cycles. For disease surveillance, infrastructure planning, targeted aid delivery, this is a game changer.
Let's talk flood control. This morning, Busan, South Korea's second-largest city, signed an agreement with 4 national research institutes, including KAIST and EDITORIAL, to build a digital urban flood control system.
The technical architecture here is worth unpacking because it's immediately replicable. Busan is integrating AI analysis of existing CCTV camera networks with a citywide digital twin, a 3D simulation of all surface water, groundwater, and underground sewage infrastructure.
What does that buy you?
Automatic disaster response scenarios generated in real time during extreme rainfall events. The system doesn't just tell you water levels are rising, it tells you which evacuation routes are viable, where the underground infrastructure is most at risk, and what interventions are most effective.
And because it uses existing CCTV infrastructure, cities don't need to deploy new hardware. For any urban planner or DRR practitioner in a city with existing camera networks, this is a model worth studying closely.
Now for the funding story of the week, because it's Friday, and Friday is about opportunities. UNICEF's Venture Fund has an active call for AI and blockchain solutions from startups in emerging markets.
Walk us through the terms.
Up to $100,000, equity-free, dispersed in cryptocurrency, which matters because it removes traditional banking barriers for recipients in countries with limited financial infrastructure. Solutions must be open source and ready to deploy. The focus areas: child protection, financial transparency, and SDG delivery.
This is one of the cleanest funding mechanisms in the sector for early-stage developers working on humanitarian tech in the Global South. Applications are rolling. Don't wait. The link is in the show notes.
On the ethics front, a new report from the University of East Anglia landed today that every NGO communications team should read immediately.
Tell me.
Researchers analyzed fundraising campaigns from 17 organizations, including WHO and Amnesty International, and found that 70% of AI-generated images used in those campaigns were photorealistic depictions of poverty. The researchers call it AI poverty porn, and the finding about audience response is stark. When people suspect an image is AI-generated, their attention shifts from the cause to scrutinizing the image. They're counting fingers. They're looking for artifacts. The person in crisis effectively disappears.
So the cost savings on image generation come at the cost of donor trust and beneficiary dignity.
That's the finding. And the report calls for sector-wide ethical guardrails, not just on operational AI, but on AI use in public-facing communications. For org leaders, this is the moment to get ahead of this with an internal policy before it becomes a reputational crisis.
Brief note on a live deployment. GiveDirectly activated an emergency cash relief program for families affected by the Middle East conflict just in the last several hours. The platform, givedirectly.org/Middle East 2026, is using digital cash transfer infrastructure to push direct payments with no intermediary overhead. For aid practitioners studying digital cash delivery in conflict settings, this is a live deployment worth monitoring.
And quickly, Singapore's Ministry of Health announced national deployment of a predictive AI tool called ACE AI that flags citizens at high risk of diabetes and hyperlipidemia with greater than 75% accuracy within a 3-year window and automatically shifts those patients to annual subsidized screenings. They've gone all the way from AI signal to policy change. That integration model is what health ministries in middle-income countries should be studying.
Before we wrap, upcoming events and deadlines.
Critical one first. WSIS Prizes 2026 deadline is March 15th. That's 9 days away. If your organization has an active AI or digital tool for social impact, submit it at itu.int. These are UN recognition awards, and winning gets your project in front of every major donor and policymaker at the WSIS Forum in July.
March 14th, the Waterloo AI Institute in Ontario is hosting a hackathon specifically focused on language justice for refugees, building AI-powered oral first language learning tools for low-literacy populations, including the Rohingya community. Registration at uwaterloo.ca/waterloo-AI.
March 16th through 19th, NVIDIA GTC in San Jose, the primary venue for Earth-2 climate modeling updates and AI for health infrastructure tools. Free virtual registration is available at nvidia.com/GTC.
And March 23rd and 24th, UNESCO's Global Education Coalition meets in Paris to set AI and education policy standards. If your programs touch SDG 4, that's the room where donor priorities get aligned.
One more on the horizon, ICT 4D Conference 2026, May 20th through 22nd in Nairobi, Kenya, with a virtual option. The leading practitioner forum for AI and digital tools in humanitarian and development work. Details at ict4dconference.org.
That's Impact Signals for Friday, March 6th, 2026. If this briefing is useful, subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Check us out at impactsignals.ai and share it with someone working in the field.
Stay ready.